card for mine.
I wanted one of those too.
Because here's my thing. It was $100-something back in the day when I got it. I have to constantly take it off and reconnect it, for it to connect the keyboard. And so I'd like, you know what? That's just bupkis.
It's almost like it goes to sleep and you got to take it out and plug it back in to wake it back up.
Yeah. And I'm like, just for the keyboard, like the iPad itself is just still, and then I'll open it and then I'll go to type, pull out the keyboard, flap it out because it's a flap situation. And I'll go to start typing, and then the freaking keyboard on the iPad comes up to touch it. And I'm like,
yeah, no. I don't know. No. Because if you're not, my whole thing with getting one in the first place is so I didn't have to do all this on the screen. But if it's going to pop up here, what is the point of this here?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know.
I love those glasses, by the way. I know I tell you that every time. Hi, everybody. Johnie and I are chitting in the chatting and the chatting and the chitting. While we let people join in. One more thing about Apple and how they get my money. So I waited years. I think I had like an Apple Watch 3, which is like years old. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade and get the new 6. Had this mother sucker not even 24 hours. See, there's a chain reaction to this. So I hate the Apple band watches. So I ordered some off of Amazon. It's supposed to be between 4 and 8 o'clock in the morning. Amazon says, oh, we can't get, we didn't even ship it out yet. So I'm like, okay, well, no big deal. It'll arrive at 6 p.m. I'm like, okay, put my Apple Watch on. I am in the parking lot. My watch just falls off my wrist, cracks. A little bit of damage. I'm like, not that big of a deal. Put it back on, go to the groceries. You would think I would have just put it in my purse at that point.
Don't put it back on.
Put it back on, get in another grocery store parking lot, falls, cracks. I'm like, God, dog. Now it's cosmetic, but seeing as you just got it, you're like, nah. So I called the insurance and they're like, okay, Miss Coleman, they're like, I hate to break this to you, but you bought the watch flat out, didn't you? I said, yeah, saved up. They're like, yeah, there's a $280 deductible, right? Because it's
what happened to 50? Is that a Shurion?
Yes. What happened to 50?
God, dog.
I said, you know what? Me and this crack ass. She was like, well, if you want to wait, we keep all cases open for 60 days. So if you kind of want to wait and call us, I said, you know what? It rocks.
And the problem with the Shurion is they will send you a refurbished.
They're not even going to send you the new one. Truck of a humpty back whale. I was so irritated. Like, I am why I can't have nice things.
As the snake card falls out.
Oh, so irritated. Hi guys. Hi. We got a lot more people that joined in. Welcome. Johnie and I are just doing some obscure Oracle topics because why not? It's a Saturday night. We're young. He's younger than me. He doesn't have as many gray hairs as I have.
1 month. I'll be another whole number up.
Getting close. Yes. Getting close. I was reading something on the TikTok that said like all May Gemini, something could like go kick rocks. I was like, no. I actually like the May Gemini. The June Geminis that I sometimes give this side eye to. Happy almost birthday, Johnie.
Well, thank you. I'll be here live on YouTube.
Doing something fun.
Yes, I don't know when, but we'll be here.
I'm looking forward to it. We'll go ahead and get cracking. Let's start getting into some of the questions. Like I said, topics are all over the place. You know how we do. We'll start reading and then maybe go down another little rabbit hole. Read on whatever we want. I'm going to add a question. and I've been getting this question a lot from a lot of people, and just clients and just talking with different people. Everybody's like energy, particularly the last 2 weeks, has been really low. A lot of dreams to a lot of just feeling like this alternate universe. So I want to look to see if Oracle kind of give us a little indicator as to what's going on in energy and the atmosphere that's causing this. It's low energy. I know I have been having dreams that are just every time I close my eyes, I'm dreaming something crazy.
I haven't had any dreams, but I have it feels strange. It feels like mentally somebody's pushing me down the street.
Yeah. Like
it's like, go this way, go. And I'm like, well, what the hell? Where am I going? What am I doing?
Where am I going? Why are you pushing me? Can you give me? Yeah, that's a very good way to put it. It's just kind of like, and it's forced. It's like, this is what you're doing. And I'm like, I didn't sign up for this mess.
At the very least, tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. And then maybe I'll do that. That way we can get rid of this forceful energy type thing.
Yeah. Tell me what I'm supposed to be learning. Like, don't just force me talking about, see, especially as, you know, just millennials and Gen Xers, we don't particularly care for that. That's
that's very boomer energy.
Stop it. What is causing this low energy, this forced weird dream? What's going on? Even while I was taking a nap, I had a weird dream that I was like, what in the cat snatch does that even mean? Let's see. We've got
This lighting is not bad, but without the overhead, I feel like I'm reading in the dark. It's like you can see me, but I can't see nothing. That's now the problem.
This is interesting. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to pull one more. If you're ready, you can go ahead and go.
I got that it is something about cycles or about to break. Something about loops. And this may be just a universal thing and not even a personal thing. But I got time to go is the first one. This means that all that you have learned in your in particular spot in life, you have learned it all. Now it's time to go to the next thing. Yeah. This is not necessarily like you're lingering or anything of that nature. This is just saying, okay, it's time to go to the next part of life. Observer, I got next. This is kind of what it says, to observe change in the wind. So change is coming. Round and round, breaking the cycle. Then I got never ending story. This is like the drama queen card. This is trying to break us out of something. And then the serpent, which is a lie in wait type card. And then the sun. So high energy is on the other side. So it's not going into anything bad, but it's a change right now is happening, I think, to all people, that we're about to go through yet another change, and we will, well, I won't know if it's good or bad, but it's high energy, whatever it is.
It's emotional. Too. Emotions overflowing. There will be some blessings that come from it. I got something very similar. And I'm gonna say yes, and then I'm gonna add to it if you don't mind, sir. This is Mother Earth trying to balance some things out right now. Deep Mother Earth energy, root chakra balance. It is literally rocking us to our core. That's why we feel exhausted. That's why we're having the crazy dreams. It is rocking us. Why is she doing that? Because she needs to heal. And for her to heal, since humans run the earth, she needs us to heal. She's healing herself through us. Soul healing, solar plexus chakra. That's why we're being pushed, like Johnie said. It's not almost like you're kind of not in control of your faculties, but not really. That's because it's coming from a higher source. It's coming from Mama Earth. It's coming from the literal molecules and rocks and dust and wind that you are standing on. Why is she doing this? This is about forgiveness. We are moving. She needs us to shift some things. She needs us to work on her heart chakra. It's further solidified because in the past was this Five of Swords, winning and losing at all costs. She wants us to get out of this and go anew, start on this new journey with the Fool. A lot of emotions. Like I said, we are going to feel, I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. I think this is going to be a little bit of a process. I'm wondering too, astrologically, I'm just going to look at my phone. We probably got another moon cycle coming up, so it could last another couple weeks. And on the other side of it, this is
the new moon is Monday or full moon or something like that.
Let me look.
Something like that.
It is the 9th, I think, which is also on Mother's Day. So that all makes sense coming back home to Mama Earth on Mother's Day. So she's setting us up to kind of purge and to cleanse and to heal. And there's going to be some blessings, some good is going to come out of it. Don't feel trapped. Don't feel scared of the emotions and everything that's coming. Just rock with it, sit with it. Mama Earth is trying to cleanse. She needs her heart chakra healed. And in order to do that, she's got to work on the humans who inhabit her. So that's nice mesh, Johnny, with what we're both getting.
Mm-hmm.
And
I still wanted to stop, but okay.
Dreams. I'm like, bruh, can I just sleep through the night and not have all this?
I ain't been sleeping, but I haven't had any dreams. But I can't fall asleep because it seems like, okay, there's still some sort of residual energy, and Sage and Palo Santo ain't getting it out. That's because it ain't got nothing to do with earthly energy. It's like it's a planetary thing, like you said.
I'm so glad you said that, because I finally, I think Thursday stopped because the dreams were so intense. As soon as I wake up, saging the house, spraying the house, spraying myself, and then I was like, I'm tired. I'm using up all my product. Woo, Jesus, whatever.
Same thing.
And and it was so funny. And I think last night I actually said to Spirit, I surrender. Whatever this is,
what are you trying to do?
Just do it. I surrender. I'm tired.
I Palo Santo the bed. I got crystals in it. I'm now sleeping in the rocks like I'm homeless. It's like, but can I fall asleep? I mean, I already 91. I got to pee 8 times, so it's like I ain't I'm gonna stay asleep. Can I just fall asleep?
Fall asleep?
We can't do that either, apparently. So it's okay.
And I teeter between horrible insomnia where I can't fall asleep, or then I'll get out of that and be able to go to sleep immediately, but I wake up 7,000 times a night and then can't go back to sleep, and then fighting that. Or I'll have the third one where I'm in this third cycle right now. I'm having a hard time sleeping or falling asleep. When I do sleep, I'm waking up a million times. Why is that? Because I'm having crazy dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And that's rude. That's so rude.
Yes. I did. Now, mind you, me and Spirit had a little talk. Well, this is more of my ancestors.
Okay.
I get up, and when the song starts playing, that's my alarm clock. That means it's time to get up, get up.
Mm-hmm.
And I had one of these instances where I was up and down and up and down. And so I get up one last time, it feels like, and go to the bathroom. And then I come back, and then there's a song playing. And I say, oh, no, you don't. No, you're not doing songs today. Shh. I said, no, you don't. We're not doing songs. Because mind you, it's like 6:38. There's zero reason for me to be up.
Yeah.
I ain't got to go nowhere in 2 hours. I ain't got to go nowhere in 4 hours. There's no reason to be playing songs. Cut that off. Mm-mm.
Cut it off. What did Dave Coulier used to say? Cut it out. Stop. Ooh, Lord Jesus. I have a couple different questions I want to do next. Let me pick which one out of this guy. I have a petty question that it's not even on the list. It's messy and petty. Okay, maybe I'll hold it until the end, depending on how I'm gonna write it down. Messy, question about TJ Maxx manager. Okay. Okay, so speaking of ill energy, let's go into Josh Hawley. House and Senate pretty much passed a new hate crimes bill. There was one detractor. It was Josh Hawley. Evil looking gremlin.
Wait, and he's in the Senate?
He's in the Senate.
Was it really 99-1? 99-1?
Basically, yeah.
Wow.
So, what level of haterade, hate juice, evil? What's going on in here? Like, at this point, you're the horse's butthole.
Yes, you are.
I just, and at this, like, this was a slam dunk. You could have easily looked normal, but you did it to spite. You cut off your
Mitch McConnell.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the opposite side of Mitch McConnell.
Mm-hmm. Why? I can't. I just.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I had to pull out a.
Where's his mama? Who is his mama?
Actually, hold on. I'm gonna look at his mama too. Let's do this.
Time. I was gonna do that, but
let's look at his mammy, his pappy, because like who was it? Just said it. Connie said Hawley is a demon. His mammy.
Okay, I'm gonna do this too. Then this is gonna take a minute.
Let's get ready. Well, I'll tell the TJ Maxx story while we're getting ready for this because I'm pulling out like 8 different things. So I'm at TJ Maxx returning something today. And as I'm walking out, and it's slammed busy, and as I'm walking out, the manager, I hear him on the phone, and he clearly says, I hear this as clear as day, and he goes, well, I understand you're worried about your mother, but I'm worried about the business. So are you going to come into work or aren't you? I'm not very nice, and I'm a little messy. I looked that man in his eyeballs and laughed in his face. Dog, I can already tell you, that's a hard no. Whoever you're talking to, that's a hard no.
Unless he's intimidating them.
That's a hard no. So I'm like, I wonder if that person showed up to work. That's hard. He was just so, the way he said it was so nasty. I'm worried about the business. Somebody said they're worried about their mother.
Yeah.
That's the classic retail excuse for I'm not coming into work.
Yeah.
Period. Like, come on, dude. Like, go sit down somewhere. I'm worried about the business. You worried about TJ Maxx's money.
That much.
You're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. You finna take that big of an L, my dude?
Oh, okay.
Lord, take all.
I'll mute my microphone so I ain't making all this noise. Wait.
Okay, go ahead and mute it. I'm pulling. I was gonna look at Holly. I got his mom. I'm gonna do his dad too because he had to be spawned. His mom is not a hermaphrodite. So I'm gonna do his mom, his dad, and him. So mom, dad, hims. Thank you to all 156 folks that are in here. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm about to put Johnie on the spot. Please go if you have not done this. Johnie has a great Teespring store with all kinds of cups and shirts and funness. I've been waiting very patiently for over a year for some travel mugs to appear on the site, and they have not yet. So I'm going to go ahead and humbly make that request again. I have a Now Mind You shirt that I wear quite often. So please go and support Johnie's Teespring. Get you a cute shirt or cup, y'all. Yummy.
Okay.
Happy. Johnie, where's my coffee, my travel mug?
The way it happened was. I have no idea.
Okay. Oh, let's see.
I got all kind of stuff on this table. Wait a minute. Let me focus.
Oh, Jesus.
So I got these dice for those who haven't seen, and they are color coordinated for the chakras. And I read them for oracle purposes. So this is his root. His root is actually, I think, on StreamYard, it's reversed. So it's going this way. He's got a crown and a heart in his root, which means he firmly believes in who he is. Not his identity, though. This is who the organization has told him he is. Whoever it is that he gets his ideas from, he feels secure in that. But there is a very weak connection, because here with the crown chakra is a 2. The 2 is very unstable, but the crown chakra in this system is outside, something from the outside on the inside. So that means whoever he's getting his marching orders from, he knows very little to nothing about. He's just doing it because he's a lemming. He's a person that will follow you over the cliff. In his sacral, he has a sacral and a crown. They are both at a 4. That means they're both stable, but he is passionate about his connection with these people. And these people are not really his friends. But that's kind of the way of a cult. That's kind of the way of the Trump supporter. They don't know Donald Trump. If they knew him, personally knew him, they wouldn't like him. But they know of him what they need to know in order to feel good about him. And his solar plexus, I got, this is his personal power. There's a strong heart chakra and then a weak or a improving third eye, which means to me that his vision of what he wants, he feels very passionate about. So this is how he can be the only person to vote against this, is because who he is he is very strong in what he feels. He is very strong in his connections to these people. Again, in his solar plexus is his heart, and his root is his heart. He is very strong. He has a very strong connection to these people, whoever the outside people is, by the crown chakra. So he is not informed, though. This is why he's going down the wrong path. In his heart, solar plexus, and third eye, again, very passionate about his vision, very passionate about what it is he feels. He feels as though he is doing the right thing, which to me kind of feels like he's being mean for the purposes of just being mean. Because these people are like it too. When you go into the tarot, he gets the Page of Swords, which is the child with behavioral issues for me. So he likes to be that person. He gets the scythe. All he wants to do is cut away. He has absolutely no idea what nourishment is. And his heart chakra is not passion. No, this is throat chakra. He gets the throat chakra. He'll talk his behind off on his personal power. The thing that he feels as though, again, he is very passionate about. He thinks he is connected. He thinks, now this is another thing too. When he first year senator, or this is his first term or first go around, I don't think he's going to make it long term, because this in particular group, whoever he's beholden to, probably financially speaking, because it starts with the 7 of Pentacles. And I got over here the Knight and the Golem. The Golem is the person that will follow you to the end of the world. This is the person that you can easily manipulate, or you can steer in the right direction. They can do good on your behalf, or they will do the worst on your behalf, because they are blindly loyal. And that's who he is. So I think he's doing it because he's paid, and he just likes to be a jerk.
He likes to be a jerk.
He likes it. What a horrible person.
I focused on what raised such a thing. So let's start with the seed, the mother, who nurtured him for 9 months at bare minimum. This is a person whose contract was to come down to be so spiritually connected that it comes out through her solar plexus chakra, through the soul healing. She's supposed to be very, very divinely connected, spiritual, which actually makes sense because I know someone who knows him. Yes, she is religious, very devout Christian, if you will. That was her contract, to come down, this spiritual awakening, to be this peace bringer, to everything that she does in her life comes out through this soul healing. But what ended up happening, the attribute, the person that she came out, her archetype, is the victim. This is in direct contradiction to this. Because the victim says, why is this happening to me? The spiritual person says, this is happening for me. They're in direct contradiction. Anybody who's ever spent a lot of time with someone who has a victim mentality, I really struggle with these type of people because it's anybody's fault but theirs. There is no personal accountability, which also aligns with that solar plexus chakra. Okay. So he's got a victim mom. Basically, his mom's a Karen.
Makes sense.
His mom's a Karen. The father also is going to have some who he came down to be. He was supposed to be somebody who is supposed to be a healer, a soul. This card for me typically is somebody who is supposed to be a light worker with the shadow, the angels, and masters. You use your personal power because you're through the alignment of the chakras to help others. Okay. This is again another contract with the rebirth with deep root chakra. He's supposed to come down to help people, to help with their energy. This is going to mean something in a second, guys, to be this healer, to also go around and be this person of a higher authority with the heart chakra, forgiveness. But guess who this man came down to be? The vampire. Particularly with the vampire, codependent, chronic complaining. You've got that mixed with the victim. No wonder you gave birth to a ghoul. You cannot be a vampire when your soul contract is to come down and heal people. You're now stealing their energy. Okay. What that gave birth to is somebody who has a lot of issues with third eye chakra and his personal power. I mean, come on. Let's not mistake ourselves here. 2 solar plexus chakras. And again, so he's got some of his daddy's, I'm supposed to heal. I'm supposed to be that self-mastery trail down. Universal light and clarity. His soul contract was to come down and help also. But yeah, he's playing himself as the mystic, the person who is supposed to reveal light, divine. He's supposed to kind of be this messiah, if you will, but he really is just a jackass. The shadow attribute to the mystic is somebody who's, think about, this is so him, a delusional rapport with the divine. He's delusional. Why was he the one who sat out? Because he lives in a dream world.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in a dream world. This is a fantasy to him. He's another mind movie person. When you've got a victim and a vampire who give birth, you get a Josh Hawley.
You get an energy sucker.
You sure do. And a sucker. Just a sucker. Wait, an energy sucker. So
I have a question though.
Yes.
Parents, especially like her and him, who have victim mentalities, or they have let me drain whatever energy I can from other people to sustain myself. These people often, not all the time, have the traits of like Munchausen syndrome, to where their children are sick or a victim or something in order to gain even more attention. So I asked, how was he raised? And I get the child, the whip, and the birds. There's some sort of abusive verbal abuse here. Mm-hmm. And I got the sun and the clover. It was to get things, to to get actual things even. But I did the tarot, and there is something emotionally here too. Somebody is chemically unbalanced, so they may all, if not one, be bipolar as well. But there's some huge chemical unbalance that went on in the house, and I think that either there was no real love and there was just cosmetic, we're family type love, or there was a medicated love. Like sometimes she's here, sometimes he's here, sometimes they're not, like mentally speaking. But there's some screwed up parent is how it started, and then that's where he came from, which is why he thinks his behavior is okay. Yeah. So I think he had screwed up parents.
How does he see himself? How does he see himself? Yeah. He sees himself as the liberator. He's the one going in.
He's the strong one.
He's the strong. I'm the one fighting this fight for you. I'm the one that's gonna. I keep hearing when Moses was in Egypt's land, let my people go. I'm the Pharaoh. No, Pharaoh kept. See, this is how I'm screwing myself up. He's the one. He's the liberator. The shadow attribute, though, is you impose your own tyranny onto others. You do not liberate anyone. You are actually objectifying them. You're the one actually imprisoning them.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what this says too.
Yeah.
This is someone who is strong and uses force.
Yep.
Of some sort. He thinks he's Captain America. But again, like I said, whoever's got his purse strings, they have convinced him he's on the right track. But he knows nothing about that. Oh well. Good Lord Jesus.
Okay, sorry.
See, I didn't have the spray. I got the burns.
I did not like that one.
He is horrible.
Okay.
How you be on the opposite side of Mitch McConnell still? I can't.
That's what I just when you make Mitch McConnell look good,
I'm saying
you took a big ass L. Dude.
I can't even say nothing bad about Mitch McConnell now.
Right. Oh, geez.
And I watched his falling tape for pure pleasure, and I shouldn't do that. But I'm like, oh, there you go again. And that was bad of me. I shouldn't do things like that. And you made me not want to watch that now.
That's okay. I still to this day watch that video of when that reporter threw those shoes at George Bush. Because that just gives me everything. I'm sorry.
Like this.
I'm sorry.
Okay, somebody had a little practice.
As Becca from the House of Norman always says, I am not Mother flipping Teresa. So
I'm really not.
I'm not
even in disguise.
Let's go from one end of the spectrum to the other. Kamala Harris. I'm gonna take a look at her really quickly. So the GOP is having a field today. Kamala Harris, I think it was Thursday and Friday, goes to I think it was New Hampshire to talk about the new oh my God, my brain just stopped. Biden's new plan. My brain just stopped. Infrastructure.
Okay. They know what it is because I have no idea.
I saw like bridges and roads and like green. I saw everything but infrastructure. So she goes up there to talk about the new infrastructure deal. She's met by protesters who say you really need to be going. They said you're at the wrong border. You need to be going to Mexico. You need to be down there. You're 2,000 miles away. You need to be talking about immigration, infrastructure. Child, go sit down somewhere. Okay. That's not why she's here to talk to you all today, people. Now, Fox News had a field day with this. They're talking about there was thousands of protesters, and the New Hampshire News was like, there was 26. But this seemed to have given Fox just another lovely little field day. So I just want to think, just look at Kamala's energy. Is she taking? Is she laughing at this as hard as I am? Is this actually going to have some legs and kind of look janky for her? Like, what's going on? Because I mean, this is they're making it look like it was like the new BLM protest, and really it was 5 people who had 2 colorful signs.
See, and here's the thing. First of all, she's not the president. So let's start there. But with that being said, you cannot stop her either.
No.
Because not only is that what my cards are saying, but but that's just the reality, especially if it's 26 of y'all.
Yeah, it wasn't the 2,000.
We can count y'all on 6 people's hands. Go sit down somewhere.
Right.
There's Issa. Issa is about blockades. This means ice in the Elder Futhrok. Pertho, this is the woman room. This is the attempt to block. However, Pertho is also about mysteries and occult and hidden things and hidden matters. This means here with the moon and the air that she is streets ahead of you. This is why nobody, even Mike Pence, was worried about her debate performance. She is streets ahead. She knows how to do things. She knows how to argue things. She knows how to accomplish things. She was not there to enact an infrastructure plan. She's not the president. She was there to talk to you about it because he's doing other things. It's like I said this way earlier, he'll do the work, she'll be the mouthpiece because they need to groom her for being president later on down the line anyway. So there you go. She is streets ahead. The moon in this deck is guiding someone to their path. Then you have the house and the woman. Like she is streets ahead. The air sign also because she's a Libra. So she popped up in all 3 of these oracle things. She is streets ahead of you. She knows what she's doing. She's not worried about it because she knows you have no actual power against her. Try again. Don't make her go find one of these Jamaican shamans now.
Call me now.
I'm saying she's all the way Indian now. Wait a minute.
Yeah, the heartbreak that y'all trying to push on this woman, it's not going to happen. With the Page of Wands and the Judgment, it's going to come back to you. Like Johnie said, be careful. Don't let her find one of these little shamans, especially down in DC. I know about 3 good ones. They got that that cat hair and that chicken neck ready for that behind. Don't do it. I just don't. What I love about the Judgment card too with this deck is look, the 3rd eye chakra is also depicted in this. This is a woman who knows how to use her intuition. She's an air sign. We stay up here all the time. If you catch an air sign slipping, trust me, it's because you weren't even worthy of us to pay attention to. It wasn't because we were slipping. We were focused on other more important things. So be careful. Because not only is she going to see the damage that you do, she's going to foresee what you're trying to throw at her. She's going to have a Hemi waiting for you, so it comes back to you. Thank you so much, Marie, for the super chat. May that generosity be returned to you tenfold. Also, she, again, like Johnie said, you cannot stop this woman's power. She's divinely guided by spirit, guidance, crown chakra. She is always looking for signs and symbols. She's going to use that. Her throat chakra, she speaks nothing but the truth. She was a prosecutor for crying out loud, okay? Solar plexus chakra, she's here to do real work. That's always balanced. So don't play with her. She's also in a pleasure dome. She's in a bubble, a sphere of protection, if you will. She has a mission to accomplish here on Earth that has nothing to do with them little 26 protesters and their 3 little signs. That's chump change. So you can throw whatever rocks you want to throw, but it's got to penetrate this little bubble. You better come with a stronger brick or a stick, my dude, because that's just not.
It ain't strong enough.
It ain't strong enough. Oh,
this. I mean, this also speaks to people's. And we're getting there because a lot of people are less religious than ever before. Mm-hmm. But you have to not just, I don't like the church, so I don't want to be religious. You have to be enlightened as well.
Yeah.
To know when somebody's divinely guided, ain't nothing you can do.
Nope.
I guarantee you can race at her at 90 miles an hour with a Mack truck. I guarantee you'll flip over before you get there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works.
That's what they always say, what is meant for you will always come to you. It cannot be taken from you. That is divine. That is your contract. That is what you were supposed to have. No matter how many times you stumble and fall, it's not going to be taken from you. I don't care how many haters are out there. It's just not going to happen. And that's your plan. Sorry. Cards, apparently. There we go. Let's take a look. Let's do something fun. Let's do 2, 3. I don't want to call them inanimate objects, but why not? Let's go from the human to the non-human. Mermaids. Is they real? Do they live in a pineapple under the sea?
And I don't have my ocean deck. I have one too.
Do you need to go grab it?
No, because I have to look for it, and I ain't doing that business. So I'm telling you, it'd be like Aunt Lola looking in her purse for a piece of gum, pulling out all her medications and tissues and ink pens and
gum. A half-chewed piece of double mint gum with the fur on it. Mermaids. Let's look at mermaids. Are they real? Do they live in a pineapple under the sea? Let's take a look. No, I'm being called to pull out another deck, but I don't know. It's not telling me which deck. It's telling me not the one I have in my hand. Let's see if we can still do this. Thanks,
interesting. That's interesting. So truth be told,
okay,
this is transparency. Then I get yin. This is the female card. This is the also the follower energies, sort of. But then I get the woman. Mm-hmm. And the fish. So, I'm saying yes.
You don't want to know where my brain just went.
Oh wait, I think no, it doesn't. I'm about to say I think one of these decks has a mermaid in it.
Oh boy!
Oh, it has a siren. Let me see if I can pull it.
I can't pull cards because my brain is I can't.
I got the maiden in water though. I didn't get siren. Siren is a completely different beast, but. There you go.
I may have to pull out of this reading.
Here's my thing. A person like me, like when we did readings on Atlantis, I set that one out because it's like I don't believe in it, therefore I don't want to, not pay respect to the reading because it's not something I believe in. Just like I don't believe aliens have ever been to Earth. So it's like I can't do certain readings, but when it comes to the water, though, the thing that gives all things life, the thing that we have sent a helicopter to Mars, but we can't get to the bottom of the ocean, you can't tell me what's in there and what's not in there. Like you can tell me what's in there because you've seen it before, a whale, starfish, but everything in there you don't know. You just don't know. So I will never say something's not in that water ever, especially when that hurricane in Texas washed that eel up on the sand and nobody could tell what it was because it looked like an actual sea creature. I'm fooling with you, Jen Lynn Terrence. Just
Thank you, Jillian, so much for the super chat. Oh God, I gotta keep this. I gotta keep this PG, or at least PG-13, and I can't. I'm trying so hard to
with
find
the
it.
woman fish.
Yeah, my brain stopped after that. I literally couldn't go any further. I wish you could see my table. I have half of the Celtic cross. I got 3 oracle, and that's it. I couldn't go any further because that's where I was when he said woman fish. Because Johnny, we both know what I'm thinking.
Woman fish and moon, which controls the cycles. So there you go.
Because I'm going back to a particular scene in RuPaul's Drag Race where somebody's like, I gotta get, because there's a particular term that women are called, and
Fish.
It goes a little deeper too. There's a little bit more, but Johnny just gave you the clean version of it. I can't. I have too many. Okay. I'm going to say, here's what I'm going to say. The thought had to come from somewhere. That is a very interesting thing to just create. And not just create, but to have this myth, this entity, this phenomenon be sustained for hundreds of years, this folklore. Now, it could have been something that maybe looked like a half human, half sea urchin. I hate that you said sea urchin earlier too, because there's also another really bad insult that has to do with it. Trying to keep my own show PG-13. Okay. And then Oracle, I stopped at forbidden fruit. Again, this Adam Eve, this feminine energy. So I think that, like Johnny said, we haven't been to the bottom of the ocean. There's cracks and crevices in that ocean that we've never seen. That apparently, was it a woman and a fish? Is that what you pulled, the woman and the fish?
I did.
Yeah. We could have just stopped that there when you said woman and fish. There was no need.
Now, here's my thing.
Oh, God.
Here's my thing, too. Because this kind of piggybacked on somebody else's. I think it was y'all's read that you did, you and Shane. I don't know. It was somebody that was talking about aliens. No, it was Shay. It was Shay, but I think she's by herself. And I said that there might need to be a change in perspective on what we think they look like.
Yeah.
It's like you may have stared one in the face, but you think they have to be elongated and be green skin with the big eyes and all this type of stuff. Now, mind you, science teaches that if you are in space for an extended period of time, you do stretch. But they didn't get from where they were to here, and it didn't take them thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Otherwise, they're thousands of years old. And what kind of genealogy do you have that we don't have, that you would come down here and all we can live is 90 to 100 tops? So it's like, so maybe just change the perspective on how things look. So do mermaids look like Ariel from The Little Mermaid, or do they look like a fish?
What fish? Oh God, do they look like? I'm with you. I think because to me, you're between what you got and what I got. There was no, right? There was no. I didn't get nothing that indicated no. What I'm getting at, like kind of what you said, they just don't. That it came from something. There's something that you don't just create a woman, especially a pretty smelly woman. Unless they were calling women when she was on her cycle and the way it smelled fish. And then if that's the case, I hope they all walk barefoot across a whole minefield of Legos, because that's disrespectful. But we have to come from somewhere. I just think they don't look how we like you said, like Ariel. What are you getting?
Interestingly enough, no, but they do look hybrid. Here with the Chimera is exactly that. And it's interesting, I pulled that card. The chimera is a creature that is made up of different things. It's got like a lion's head and bird's wings and the feet of an ox and the snake of a tail, that type thing. It's a bunch of parts put together. So it could be a hybrid beast. But I pulled the king and I almost put it back in.
King of Wands.
And the spirit said, no, keep it out. They might be also, what do you call that when you don't have a sex?
Hermaphrodites.
They might be just, whatever that is. They don't have a sex. They don't have they don't look like Ariel. No. But they are something. They are, so this is also saying they could be dangerous. But they have been seen. And again, there's dangerous at certain moon phases. I think you could possibly even see one if you were in a certain place at a certain time. They could be very deadly. So again, they are reiterating the danger part, or they could be lucky.
Yeah.
Like there is something about good luck that would happen too if you were to see one at a certain time.
It would be more androgynous or hermaphroditic, not asexual. Asexual means something completely different.
Androgynous was the word I was looking for.
Yeah. I got what are they? Like what do they do more than what they look like? They definitely have a home. They root chakra. I want to say they're deep in the sea. Thank you so much, Judy, for the super chat. May that generosity be returned to you tonight or tomorrow. I want that to come back to you very soon. They definitely they live in their natures of their surrounding. They do things in their home. They are what I get is the medicine wheel and the skilled craftsman. They're healers. So they may, if another fishy is sick, they would go to the mermaid because the mermaid built in it has something that can help heal it, or it can put off, emit something into the water that can help heal. So it is definitely, they're healers, they're skilled. They've got definitely a huge purpose, a big purpose to kind of help. Yeah, they're healers. That's what I just keep getting. They're like little, not even nurses, like little doctors of the deep ocean. Thank you, Nancy. Leave it up to a woman to be the healer once again. Mm-hmm. But that they're androgynous, so which would make sense because I think that you can't have one set. It has to be that perfect combination to be that level of healer. Now that we looked at mermaids, what about dragons?
Do dragons ever exist?
Ever exist?
I was always one of these people, like, there were no mermaids, there were no fairies, there were no unicorns. And then I stopped on the unicorn and I'm thinking, wait, a horse with horns on its head. Yeah, we've never seen that before. Like, it's like I look out my window and there's one walking by. It's just got two horns instead of one, but it's the same darn thing. Yep. Not to mention things like that will always be hunted because of what it looks like. Yep. So I'm like, okay, makes sense to me.
Didn't mean it wasn't here for a period of time and went extinct. Mm-hmm. Dinosaurs, we've got proof that dinosaurs. I had an anthropology teacher who was a doctor, who was a paleontologist, who did not say dinosaur. He said dinosaur. We never took him seriously. We're like, you're a world-renowned paleontologist and you say dinosaur. Okay.
So, dragons.
Dragons exist. But did they ever exist? Did they exist? Did they ever exist? Are they real?
I use the deck that has a dragon in it, so let's see if it comes up. It does not. Do dragons ever exist?
Dragons real. I feel like I'm moving at a snail's pace compared to you.
I get a no. I get with the Mystic Circle, it was there's possibly a thing on Earth that carried the name of dragon, but it's not like we think dragon, as in wings, breathing fire, that type of thing. It was used for religious ceremonies, like the blood of it or something of that nature. It was used for stories and offerings. There might be an actual queen that is associated with dragons, and not from the Game of Thrones. There might be some sort of queen that was worshipped, or some sort back in history. Like, you could Google this and find it probably. There's some sort of woman or entity, deity, that they would sacrifice some sort of lizard to in order to appease her for their crops, or everything we did to appease the gods was always based upon our mortal lives and our crops and our this and our survival, basically. So I think that's kind of what it was, because I get 3 swords, 2 of swords, 10 of swords. Like, no, not in the way that we would think dragon. It's more along the lines of a snake deity of some sort that they would sacrifice something to.
I get it is mythology. It was something that was spread across the world it's a symbol of wealth, is what I'm getting with get the world, Knight of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, sharing in abundance. Also the Buffalo Spirit, abundance on universe, universal abundance. It was, and then I also get some other cards that tell me it's mythology. It's something that was created, because normally when you see, it's about it's a power symbol, money. I've got something. Because normally, especially for those there's particular Buddhist sects, that use the dragon. You pray to there's part of the altar in the givings that symbolize wealth, and it's always gold. It's always what's the word I'm looking for?
Golden shiny item.
It's opulence. So it's a mythological creature made to talk about opulence and wealth, is what I'm getting.
Now, mind you, one of the and there it is, actually on the bottom of the deck instead of at the top. One of the myths of the dragon is, if you find one, you find riches, because they're laying on top of it. They're always protecting gold and riches.
Yep. I think I have one around. I don't. I'd have to go across the room. Anybody who's ever studied directional feng shui, which I have for years, one of the cures is a dragon. Depending on which direction your house brings in the fortune, there is a dragon, and he's surrounded by coins, and it has to be a gold dragon with gold coins. Otherwise, you ain't bringing in nothing. You're about to lose money. So yeah, let's do one last. Is it real? And I know we've done this before, but this is like one of my favorite mythological creatures, just because I was just watching Napoleon Dynamite last night. This monster. Talk about Nessie.
Again, I ain't gonna ever say what's not in that water.
It's Nessie real. Scientists placed explosive detonators at the bottom of Lake Loch Ness to blow Nessie out of the water. Is Nessie real? Real. I don't know why. I just like knowing that this thing has sea urchin in the bottom. I always get, every time I read on it, I always got conflicting answers. So let's see. Again. Sharing of this story.
Lucky girl, no, that is not why I don't go in the ocean. Almost drowned. That's why I don't go.
This may be another myth. Thank you, Desiree, for the super chat. May that be returned to you by tonight, tomorrow morning.
Here's my thing. I'm gonna say no, but there is a predator in the ocean that we've never seen, is what the cards are telling me. You only see it at night. You can only see it in the dark, something type of thing, or maybe in the dark parts of the water. The Loch Ness Monster is supposed to have come up, but it was in a body of water. Something that big should not have been, because you cannot sustain yourself in that body of water, and so forth and so forth. Now, every now and then, whales will be found in lakes and things, but it's because they took a wrong turn, like literally. But I get, again, the wolf and the unicorn. Like, there is something mythical about it. It's more of a fable than it is an actual real thing. But there are big predatory things in the water we know nothing about. But with the tarot, I get the tower, so I get no on the Loch Ness Monster.
I got the tower too. I think that this was a fable to keep people with the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. What I'm getting is this is a fable to keep people. Back in the day, you had to use bodies of water as a quick means of transport and transit, right? This was basically a fable to keep people from coming to pillage our resources. They did not want to share the resource or be deprived of a resource. Homeward bound, staying close to source, staying close to your home. Go back home is what I also kept hearing. And with nothing ever wasted. They did not want people coming in to use their resources. They were like predates isolationism, if you will. So this was a fable. We've got this big scary sea urchin that will come eat you alive if you bring your little nair behind across the Lake Loch Ness to come into our village. Just don't even try it. Don't worry about it. It's gonna eat you up. And it was a fable that just kept going and kept going to keep people from going back.
Every culture, every land has a fable of some sort.
Okay. So that's that. Let's okay, so I've got a good question. I hate that this did not. When I printed it, it only printed out half. So give me 2 seconds. So let's look about climate change really quickly. I want to look at, so apparently, and this was a question that came in the chat. So let's look. So apparently fish can detect color. There are certain fish that are now starting to not be able to tell the difference in their colors. And they're actually, because of that, their actual body color, their fins are changing colors. And it's kind of just this crazy evolutionary thing because of a direct result of climate change. We're polluting our oceans and our rivers and our waters, and we're just not taking very good care of them. Will that same type of evolution happen to humans, where something that was once very prominent, like some type of sense or color or something that's predominant in humans, because of climate change, will that change us? Will there be a change to the human species is what I guess the question, due to climate change, how we evolve?
I think yes already.
I already say yes. We have. That's called evolution. But this is a direct negative impact, I guess is what the question is asking.
Because of global warming.
Because of climate.
Now, mind you, our skin tones are proof of evolution.
Yeah.
But that doesn't have anything to do with climate change. That's just were you hiding in the cave or were you hiding in the jungles? Were we
We all started in jungles, and then some people, because of almost call it planitia. That is not the correct term. They started migrating once the planet started separating. They couldn't go back. They had to hide in caves, yada, yada, yada.
I get Urus with the runes in Sewillow. This is Sun and Untamed, so Untamed Heat. That would be your global warming. And then with the Tarets, I get the Ace of Cups and the Five of Wands. This will be the Eight of Wands and the Hierophant. This is going to be. It keeps going here. Like there's something here. Humans traded a lot of their instinct for logic. Animals survive on instinct. They know what to do from the moment they're born. We figure things out because our brains are just wired that way. But there is something in us, compass-wise, there is something in us that can detect something. Almost like, it's hard to explain. It's like the direction of the wind or whatever the case may be. There's something in us compass-wise that is going to undergo a change. And it has something to do with the moisture in the body or the moisture in the brain or the moisture in this region of you. It's kind of, it's almost like something fires in a different way than it used to. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. That's hard to explain. I got it. It's all in here, but I can't push it out this way. It's like almost like you have a compass in your head that's strengthened by water. So just to break it down. And this water is changing to where your compass does not work the same. It's not broken, but it doesn't work the same. Is what it's hard for me to explain, but it's yes, to answer the question. Yes, there will be a change that humans do see because of global warming. It has something to do with the insides, like the neurons, but it's I keep getting, I'll say neurons just to make it Marie, just to make it plain, but it's more moisture, right?
It also will impact how we think and how we do things with the Knight of Swords and King, Page of Wands and Queen of Wands, how we do thoughts, like you said. Now I can't. Now I've absorbed your inability to explain it. Thanks.
And it's so interesting that we're both picking up something cerebral and can't explain it.
Like how the neurons are, like it's going to be like frontal cortex or something like that. Decision making. Lord Jesus, if it's communication, that could be.
I did pull the Eight of Wands.
What if it's communication? Because neither of us can explain it.
And it's not like we're going to be suddenly telepathic where we don't have to know, but no, it's
it's not that. But I will say though, we will look different. And it's going to be your perception of it, if it's going to be more harm than good. Because with the Five of Cups, I love the Five of Cups. Yes, there are some that are spilled over, but you're so focused on what you lost, you don't see that you still have some there. So it's not like it's going to be the end of mankind and we're going to be like, oh, Jesus, remember back in the day when we used to be able to talk and think? It's not going to be like, hey, this has changed. The body is not the same. But there are some new things that we can do and new ways to adapt that actually we need to for survival and may actually be kind of cool once you embrace it. Thank you so much, Lily, for the super chat. And may that generosity come to you very soon. I think it's communication, though. I think it's something, the fact that we both were like,
I just can't. I can't push it out here. Like it's all in here, though.
It's here, though.
I can see it. I can't tell it to you.
It's like all of a sudden I became Doogie Howser, and I'm like, oh, it's this, and the neurons and they're firing, and the cerebral, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, explain it. And I'm like, brain juice.
It's like, oh, you didn't understand? Oh, okay.
Water, earth, power, fire, sun, go planet. Yeah. Let's see. Let's pull another one. I have another question. Since we're talking about humans and change, I've been wondering this for the last couple of days. Just watching everything play out and watching responses and just human responses. Why can't humans get out of our own way? Why can't we
I'll take that card, flips out.
get right to be right? Why is it so difficult spiritually, energetically, for us to just stop being so human-y and destroying and doing weird stuff? Why can't we get out of our own way? Because it's really pretty simple. Don't kill people unnecessarily. There's enough resources to go around if you just realize there's enough resources to go around. Hey, a whole bunch of people, a few people having a whole bunch of wealth and the rest of us not having enough. That's kind of weird, right? Maybe we should change that, but why can't we get out of our own way?
So, interesting. Okay, these all popped out, so I'll read these first. This is to the sea. This is being a part of something bigger than yourself. A lot of people, this is my global mindset leaking into this too. We don't see ourselves as a people, as a human race. We see ourselves as individual first, and then a part of a smaller group, and then a little smaller, and then, kind of like, okay, I see myself as Black, and then I'll see myself as Baptist, and then I'll see myself as Black Baptist, whatever. And, it's kind of like you'll put yourself into these little cubby holes. And meanwhile, you never put yourself as earthling first. You never put yourself as energy first. It's always to build a foundation of constantly being something else instead of just human. You're always in between humanity and categorizing. You have to categorize yourself. You have to be smaller, and then when you're smaller, your mindset's smaller. And then when your mindset's smaller, all you care about is what you need and what you care about and things of that nature. So other people don't come into it until something goes wrong, and then you reach out to find out where all the other people are. Because now you need help. Because now you realize, oh, we're all on this thing together. Because the earth just shook and my house fell down. Or there's a cyclone of wind coming this way and my house fell down. So all of your possessions, all of your little world things have now been shaken to its core, and now you need help. When you should have seen that you were a part of something bigger to begin with. But that's what I get.
I had two basic answers. Ugh. We have not been crumbled and brought to our knees to make us change. Cellular collapse is literally being in an environment that is so toxic, being so toxic to yourself that your cells literally cannot regenerate. They start to collapse and you start to die. And until you have that moment where you go, hey, I'm really sick and I cannot heal in the same environment in which I got sick, you will die. We have not been brought to our knees. We have not had our come to Jesus moment, our realization. We have not had our rebirth moment to wake up and realize that the same thing that is making us sick is the same thing that's going to take us out. The same thing we're complaining about, the same thing that we hate. It's vibration. We have not changed that vibration, has not brought us to our knees to make us change. Why is that? Why can't we shed that? It's pretty simple. If I'm living in this environment that's making me sick, I probably should get up and move. If I go to work every day and I hate it, I probably should look for another job. But we're not there. We can't get out of it. Why can't we get out of it? Solar plexus, personal power. We still want to control at bare minimum, even if it's just ourselves, even if it's just a perception that we're controlling the situation. We still want to exert our personal power. Exerting that personal power is the same thing that's going to make us sick. We've got to realize that before it's too late. The cellular collapse is all about the cells are breaking down to the point where if you do not intervene, if there's not an intervention, you will die. We do not stop trying to exert so much of this solar plexus chakra, this personal power. We are going to ruin the very good thing that could keep us stable and keep us alive and keep us going. And like Johnie said, that is mankind. It is not me. It is not I. It is a we. It is an us. It is a collective.
Because we did not come together even in COVID-19 because it was then politicized, even though it threatened everybody. That was your moment to be earthlings. That was your moment to uplift. Apophis is an asteroid that is headed this way. Should be here in 2029. It's supposed to miss the Earth by this much. It could actually hit the Earth if it swings back around or something like that. Those are the moments that I would think, oh, that's what would make us Earthlings, to know something that huge, just the size of a football stadium. Something that big could make us realize that we are Earthlings, that we are in this together. And then again, no, it's not. Because we have not been brought all the way down, just like Adrian said. COVID-19 didn't kill everybody. It didn't even kill the majority of humans on Earth. So it's very hard for all of them, especially since it's been politicized, to be on the same page. The asteroid, if it does hit Earth, it won't kill everybody. And some people will live and some people will die. You will not get everybody on the same page. But there is something that could still do it. And we say this about all of the political characters and all of that. You should not have to be forced into something. Don't wait for the bad part and then say, okay, I give up.
Don't wait for the collapse.
It's like you see it now, do something now.
Be proactive, exactly.
But, humans. That's where animals are smarter than we are. Yep. Because when their food dries up, they go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at future discoveries. I want to look at 3. The oracle will give us an idea of future innovation that will happen, that we will see coming. I want to see if there's going to be what is the technological innovation that will happen, the new technological discovery that will shape and change the way we do and see. What's going to be the scientific one, and what's going to be the ecological one? Like, are we going to finally actually find the mermaid? Woman. So what are future discoveries? Technology, scientific, and ecological.
Technological.
I was like, I cannot find a deck I want to use.
Scientific. And ecological.
Thanks to all 250 of y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for all the super chats. I appreciate you.
So there is something about technological. There's something about lasers. I got this in a different reading. Something about being able to do something from the outside of the body, like not having to cut it. Mm-hmm. I get that again. I get the stars. Stars is technology for me in this deck. Yeah. There's something to do with lasers. There's also something to do with space lasers too. To where one satellite can beam something, and it's like a chain effect. It beams and beams and beams, and then it comes down here. or it comes close or something of that nature. So yeah, there's a bunch of laser technology that is about to pop off. Scientific, there is, this is more medical actually. There is going to be a Alzheimer's drug that might prove effective in certain stages though. Like if it'll, I don't know if it's Alzheimer's, it might be dementia. Dementia's before Alzheimer's, kind of like, you know, HIV to AIDS, bad example, but you get what I'm saying. There's stages to it. There's something there with co-create and thinker in between worlds. There is a Alzheimer's drug or some sort of, it might prove effective is the reason why it's popping up here. Yeah. Then the ecological, I know we have this now, but apparently there is going to be some perfecting of it or some widespread usage of a bacteria that can eat plastic. And that's what I see coming up ecologically, is there's more use of it, or there is greater spread of it. There is a perfecting of it to where it doesn't leave behind bad residue, or the bacteria itself doesn't go out of control and create something different, because you know humans never think of plan B sometimes. So that's what I get.
It's so fascinating. All that is so interesting. Thank you so much. I think it was More Paper Please. Is that the name? More Paper Please. Thank you so much for the super chat. May that generosity be returned to you immediately. I have cards everywhere, so I had to write it down. Technology. It's going to be food, particularly how we gather and distribute food. There's some technology that's going to be with that, because I get the hunter and gatherer. I get the hunter tracking down, hunting and gathering food. We may find a new way to create GMO that is not so harmful to the body. And I'm going to tell you now, it's not going to be in the United States. We are the only country in the modernized world who still has no bans, no issues, no nothing when it comes to GMOs. Probably our food's pretty tasty, but it's also deadly. Okay, so it's something about how we source and distribute food, which to me, I'm also looking at using also that technology in mass for the better good. So helping to kind of eliminate some forms of poverty. So something about hunting and gathering food. Scientific, I'm also with you, Johnie. It's going to be something medical. Medication for mental illness, changing the way that they use drugs and combinations of drugs for things like schizophrenia, because now schizophrenia is now categorized as bipolar. It's on they've rechanged the spectrum and how it's all the classifications and diagnosis. So now instead of being schizophrenic, it's called bipolar 1 or bipolar 2, I believe. With that is come how they treat it, because a lot of reasons why a lot of people do not like mood stabilizers and antidepressants is because they have horrible side effects. I mean, nobody wants a dry cuckoo kitty and to be impotent just to not be depressed. I mean, for crying out loud, that causes depression, right? You got a dry cuckoo kitty and you can't get your wang dangler going. That's depressing enough. And then you want to add depression to it, not to mention the dry mouth and all the other symptoms. So medication about how we deal with mental illness and things in the clinical psychiatry fields. And I think that's long overdue, to be quite frank. Can also help destigmatize issues with mental health. Ecological is my own damn question. I can't pronounce the word. Ecological snowflakes. And what I'm getting is, again, I think because in the US, it's super politicized, but I think from a world perspective, we're going to see a lot more change and getting the global good for climate change. We're going to start seeing it snow. Like right now, it's freezing in DC. It's freezing. It's cold. I personally love it because I run hot all the time. But it's almost May and we shouldn't be having to pull our winter coats back out right now. We're going to start seeing more weirdness in weather that is going to make people go. It's going to start to make the Republicans or the people who don't believe in climate change go, you know what? Should it really be snowing in January? If it's snowing in January, that's not climate change. It's like, yes, sweetie, it's global warming. That's what causes it, dummy. And then you're going to start seeing more, like there's going to be a light bulb. There's going to be, and the people are going to start working towards climate change. That's going to be ecological. It can't snow in June in Tucson, Arizona. That's just not natural. So that's going to be the ecological change. You're going to start seeing it in such mass that there's going to have to be nothing but you're going to have to respond to it some way, somehow.
Snowed here 2 days ago.
Yeah. All the brand new plants I bought dead. Sitting on the patio like. Looking at me like I'm crazy. I tried to bring them in the house, but they have critters already. Can't have no critters in my house. You only cost $8. I'm just gonna buy another one.
I want to plant, but it's plants attract bugs. I don't. But I got to have plants in the house because you're just supposed to. It's life. Yep. So you need some life in the house, but we'll see.
I don't have children. I have plants.
I read a post that we are complicated house plants because we need watering, we need sunlight.
Humans are complicated. We need to be talked to nicely sometimes.
We're complicated house plants.
Yep. We need sunshine, fertilizer. We need some shit every now and then. Sorry, the price that just came out. Okay. I want to look at. We got a couple more questions. Are you good with that, Johnny?
Absolutely.
All right. I want to look at everybody's favorite Kardashian.
Oh, mercy.
Caitlyn Jenner is running for governor of California. There is they just had can't think of the name of it. I should have wrote it down, but basically they're having to redo the preliminary something. And that could be, and I'm reading all of these articles that are like, it's looking good for Caitlyn Jenner. She could pull this off. She could be the first transgender governor ever. And I'm like, oh. So let's just want to take a look at the energy surrounding Caitlyn's run right now, as it stands right now. Because let these pundits tell it. She's going to be the next Ronald Reagan.
Here's the thing. So it starts with Perth, though. That's the yes, Debbie, exactly.
Yeah,
the transgender Republican.
That's why the pundits are in an uproar, because you're like, she's transgender and she's a Republican and she's going to change the face of the Republican Party. They're still hateful. So no, it's not.
And I'm going to refrain because it's not nice from discounting this child's transition by saying they do everything for publicity. But that's in my mind. So I just want you to know that going forward, seeing as how nothing the Republican Party stands for is anything that you are. Now, I understand you still inside are rich and white, but outside of that, you have no, anyway, moving on from that. You do what you want to do. It's your life. But how is it looking? So I have Pertho and Fehu. This is about money. I don't know who is about money for, whether it's about money for her or about money for the party, the RNC, whoever it is. But it's money. Money driven. This is money gifted. Abundance. It's not wealth that you have. This is wealth that you give, or wealth that you won, or wealth that comes to you. Algis and Lagos. Lagos is your imagination. This is your subconscious. This is all that good stuff. Algis is trying to ward off evil. So this is like protection from the bad things. This has a kernel of political agenda in it, as in, I would like to be governor so I can change this.
Mhm.
So there's a small kernel of political agenda in there, but small, because again, it's still about money.
Yep.
It's about finance.
100%.
It's not that she is just going to be destroyed, but she does not have a good foundation, but she has good publicity.
Mhm.
So even if she doesn't win, she could still be in the forefront of everybody's mind, because she could still, if she capitalizes on the publicity of it all, she can still be out there running her mouth and, doing all she could. I hate to, pardon me, don't throw your tomatoes. She could be like the Republican version of the Stacey Abrams, to where Stacey Abrams didn't win, but she didn't go away either. You still heard her. She's still doing good things. She's still doing all her things. And then Caitlyn can do the same thing, to where she doesn't win, but she could still be a Republican mouthpiece. So there you go. Because they would love that.
Mm-hmm.
To show we're not racists and bigots and homophobes and all these type of things. They would love that.
That's exactly what I get. This is all about money. Prosperity lies ahead. Not winning, not giving, not helping, not the governorship. This is the ship. I think the Freudian slip was actually. This is about money. Prosperity lies ahead. Why is that? I think she's a mouthpiece. I think she's being paid by the Republican Party, the devil card, supporter of truth with the Queen of Swords and the Three of Wands. The plan is to put her out front to be the mouthpiece, the spokesperson for the Republican Party. Oh, we're, like Johnie was saying, we're not bigots. We're not hateful. We are accepting of queer, LGBTQIA. No, they're not. They're using this to be the mouthpiece, because this is about money. Because here's the thing, I'm going to say it, and this is truth. So I have an issue with certain singers who claim to be LGBTQIA friendly. You want the money. You want the money. There's more disposable income in the LGBTQIA community than there is in any other community. You want the flipping money.
Mm-hmm.
You don't care about trans rights, about gay rights, about you were half of you guys were the people in the bathroom giving the little gay kid a fucking swirly. Didn't confirm if he was gay. You just thought because he was sensitive that you're going to bully him and treat him like crap. Mm-hmm. But now you want the money. Gay is the new black. You want the money. But you don't want the
blind loyalty.
You don't want the help. You don't want to give the help. You don't want anything that comes with being a true ally. Go sit down somewhere. And if Caitlyn, if you're allowing this to happen, take a stadium, an empty stadium full of seats, sweetheart. I got friends and family I'm trying to protect. Sorry, I can't.
And this is why. Okay, never mind.
Say it, because I just went on a daggum tangent. I didn't even see what happened.
Because in my, I'm sorry, but actually I'm not sorry. You say what you want to say out there. I don't really care. My life is mine. I live it like I want. This is why I say, and that child is still a rich white man. Mm-hmm. Ain't got nothing to do with womanhood. Trying to be. I don't believe her struggle, and I'll say her to be respectful. I don't believe her struggle. I don't believe her internal struggle of 70 years as being Bruce instead of Caitlyn. And I don't believe you. I don't. Not just because that family thrives off attention, that you got you some too. And maybe you are surrounded by your family who is all about makeup and hair, and you thought, okay, maybe I want to do it too. I don't believe you. I think still on the inside of you is actually on the outside of you is a rich white man. That's what I think. I have no doubt at all that you have no transgender struggle. You do not know what it's like to be 16 and look in the mirror and be like I don't connect with what I see. That's not who I am. I don't believe you like at all.
Thank you, Marie Henson, for the super chat. I'm going to just tell a story. After I tell the story, I'll be done.
I have to burn this child away. Wait.
Well, wait till I tell the story because you're going to have to burn it again.
I'm wait. Let me get. I want my damn spray. I'll be right back. I got to go.
So, I am part of an organization at work that is very, very active in LGBTQIA rights. And so, I get, or still do, get invited to fancy events and fundraisers to help bring money to attention. And the money does not go to some of these blanket big organizations, not necessarily like a PFLAG or a GLAAD. I mean, no, we're holding fundraisers for activists. Like, we're going out in the streets and in the struggle. There's a particular award show that I got invited to several years ago, right at the crux of Caitlin's transitioning, where I'm Caitlin and she's on the cover. She was invited to this award show. Didn't even have to donate money. She just had to show up and go on stage and accept an award. And she refused to come. You had people on stage screaming and crying, talking about, I'm here. We had I'm not trying to humble brag, but I'm just going to be honest. We had very highfalutin celebrities that I was sitting next to who you would never guess, whose brother, cousin, mom, whomever in the community, or just a strong ass ally. And the conversation in the room was, where's Caitlin? This is her perfect moment. She refused to show up. We had to give her award to somebody else. I get it. There could have been a scheduling conflict, but that's not how it was presented.
Now you know I got to be messy. Scheduling conflicts.
No, she didn't show up. It wasn't a scheduling conflict. She didn't show up.
Why?
Because it wasn't high profile enough. Because the award show was only going to be on oh God, not E. It was going to be on Bravo and another channel. And it wasn't going to be like E, Bravo, and this and that. And so that's why she didn't show up.
The crowd was too small.
Well, normal people like me got tickets to show up.
The crowd was too small. 3 of Cups, there's your celebration. But it's too small.
It's too small.
There's no 10 of Cups. 6 of Cups over the 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups or 6 of Cups is small. This is the child card. This is the minute card. Crowd was too. This is why I don't believe you. Now, mind you, before it was called transgender, because back in the day it was called transsexual. Mm-hmm. I've known transgenders my whole life.
I have too.
And I know firsthand from seeing and talking and so forth, the struggle. I don't see that in her. And again, I'm still going to be respectful. I'll call you her. But I think inside of you, on the outside of you, is still a rich white man playing dress up, because you don't have the same story as all these people I know. And mind you, the latest one that I worked with, I told Jen and Becca this the other day. She lived with her parents and her parents sent her to camp. You don't have that story, to where they're trying to pray it out of you, to where they would even send their child somewhere to be electrocuted if it was still illegal or if it was still legal. You don't have that story. What you got is, oh, I want some attention too. I want to play with hair and nails. Anyway, that's
I want to get more in touch with my feminine side. Yeah. Everybody has a feminine side.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. And I don't mean to go off on a tangent, guys. This is just the
redmentalhealing.com.
I mean, for crying out loud. You know the singer Sylvester? Like, everybody knows Auntie Sylvester. You mean Sylvester, the queen of disco? I call her Auntie. I grew up calling her Auntie Sylvester. Sylvester and my mom and my dad were very good friends. Sylvester died in 88. I was 5. I grew up around people. I grew up in this. Like Johnny said, not the same struggle. You can see it. It wears on your face. It's not the same. And I'm not trying to judge. I am judging. You didn't show up to the award show.
I'm judging.
You didn't show up. All this money and exposure to help transgender children, and you didn't. For crying out loud, E.J. Johnson showed up and bitch slayed. Everybody in the room slayed, but you didn't show up. Okay, next question. I want to do just a quick. Some of you in the chat may know who I'm about to talk to. Some of you may not. Shock G. Shock G is a rapper from the Bay Area. People know the Humpty Dance, Digital Underground. You know, the Humpty Dance is your chance to do the hump. I mean, we're talking Do What You Like. We're talking about just so many songs. The 80s and 90s churn in the chat, you know who I'm talking about, okay? Dude with the big fake nose, the Humpty Dance. Shock G, also Digital Underground, side note, was a huge influencer in the musical game back in the day because they're from the Bay Area. So they literally helped the Bay Area rap scene get on the map. If you don't believe me, talk to a man named Tupac Shakur. Tupac was a part of Digital Underground. He actually wrote the dance, the Humpty Dance. If you go back and look at old Arsenio Hall, I think it's Arsenio Hall, or it could have been Jay Leno. The first time Digital Underground was on, you see Tupac in the back doing the dance, okay? So it was really shocking when Shock G died the other day. Like, we're all in the street like, oh, Jesus, Lord, no, not They have not released yet what the cause of death and why he died, because he was only 57. So I just want to take a look and see if the Oracle can tell us what was going on in his life and how was his transition. Oh, got to stop talking cards tonight. Jeez. I'm wearing too low of a shirt and I'm trying not to flash everybody. Sorry if y'all see something. Everybody in the music industry is like, Shock G's dead? What happened? I got to do what you like stuck in my head now. Thanks, man.
His transition was good. Met by a man, very close to probably father, grandfather, something like that. Soft white light. So it kind of tells me that either it was sudden or it was expected but sudden.
I just heard he knew he was sick. He knew something was going to happen.
It was sudden or expected sudden. So it's like, oh, this will happen at any moment type of thing. But it was soft white light, meaning that he was eased into his transition because it was a shock. But he was still very willing to go because of the man that he saw. So there was a man on the other side. I'm not getting exactly what happened. I'm just getting that he had a very smooth transition, or yeah, I'll say smooth transition. It was still, I mean, I've never been dead, but I can imagine that you know, earthly eyes closed, spiritual eyes open, and you think, what in the hell is happening here? So it was a bit of a patience game, a bit of a that type of deal, but it worked out in the end. King of Cups is here too, so he was met by somebody. There was some stress upon him. Okay, now I'm getting this now. There was some stress upon him, so it was either a chronic illness,
he was sick,
or something cellular or something heart.
I keep hearing he's sick. He was sick. He was sick. He was sick. He didn't tell anybody he was sick. Or certain people knew he was sick, but they didn't think he knew how sick he was.
Mm-hmm.
Others did not.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, because I get physical health. The thing that was stressing him, Johnny, finances too, because it's very expensive to be sick.
Yes, it is.
And in his career, you have to travel, you have to tour, you have to be in the recording studio. So not being able to do that as much also did not help. This is a man that was very in tune to spirit, which is probably why he had a very smooth transition. A lot of spiritual intelligence, not necessarily religious intelligence, but spiritual intelligence. He understood there is something bigger to this. There's something that moves, that goes, that is shaping this. But he knew he was sick. This was something that was known. The news to us was shocking, but to him, this was not. He knew. I do get the lover. So yes, you're right. He was I get too that he was greeted with someone that made his transition pretty smooth. It was hard though. The balancing the sickness and the work, that was a struggle. It was definitely a struggle with the Two of Pentacles. And I keep hearing, how do I put this? Damn, I don't want to be here anymore. Like I wanted to die, but like, I didn't want to, that was too tough. It was way too tough. And he started to see, but the Five of Cups again, it was more bad than the good. And he would have to really kind of search for the good. And not that he wasn't a positive person in it, but, you know, a beautiful person. That's not that. It's just 57-year-old Black man with chronic illness. That's what I keep hearing. He was sick. He knew he was sick. It just hasn't come. I wouldn't be so. We may even get kind of like a Chadwick Boseman type of situation where people are like, oh yeah, did you know he had this, this, and this?
Because he didn't need to burden the whole world with it. Is probably how he felt.
Yeah.
But somebody knew. It's just not everybody knew.
I wonder if he was diabetic. I keep hearing diabetes and high blood pressure. And not because that's the Black man's kryptonite, but I'm just.
It is, though.
It is, but I keep hearing that. Why am I hearing this? Why do I keep hearing that? How do I keep hearing that?
Because I get something cellular. So whatever it was, it traveled in the body.
Complications, diabetes complications. Like it was not.
I don't think it was COVID or nothing like that, though.
It was pancreas wasn't producing something to push something to keep something flowing.
We shall see.
What'd you say?
So we shall see.
We shall see.
I'm glad you had a good transition, though, at least.
Yeah. Hold on. Who said it? I have to go back up. Yes, Miss Thomas, all around the world, and the same old song. Come on! I'm sorry. I was like, that was my jam back in the day. All right, got one more question on paper, and then we can talk about whatever we want after that. Elon Musk is going to host Saturday Night Live on May 8th.
Who told him he was funny? I mean,
okay. Like, I literally wrote, he's creepy. Why?
Yes. I mean, mind you, he was on, what was it, The Third Rock from the Sun, or whatever this show was called, 30-something, or whatever it was, with the geeky people on it. And he always was on the show as Elon Musk, as himself, as the Tony Starks of the modern day. And even as himself, I'm thinking,
he's creepy.
I don't need to look at you.
He's creepy. Oh, Jay, you hung out with Shock G. Everybody says he was the kindest, nicest. I was like 18 degrees of separation from Shock G because I grew up in Northern California. Everybody said he's super woke, super kind, super sweet. So,
Big Bang Theory. That's what. Thank you, Tara.
Big Bang Theory.
He was on there a few times, and I don't know. You got this Chucky doll face and
creepy. He's creepy. Well, I don't even know what the question I had. It may have just been a statement for us to be petty and talk about.
It's like you look up and he's staring in your window, and you think, "Oh my God!" And then you go out there to see what he's doing. I really like this glass. This is really nice glass.
Thank you so much, Nancy, for the super chat. I just need somebody help me. Like, why? I guess why? Because even when I was reading, like, they never gave a good why. They were just like, oh, he's done this, this, and this. But it's like, but what is he going to bring to the show? And what is he going to do? Is he going to tell jokes? Is he just going to announce the musical host for the day? Like, doesn't the musical talent, like, doesn't the host actually in skits and stuff? Like, what?
Yes, who names their child's letters and numbers? I mean,
I can't. Are they desperate for talent? Like, why?
You need to be doing damage control for his company. Is what you need to be doing after that fiery crash that just happened.
Kind of shouldn't have real expensive stuff blow up. I'm just saying. Especially when that real expensive stuff was supposed to one day carry people in it.
Come on.
Don't believe me? Ask NASA what happened after the Apollo 1 blew up with people in it. Oh, okay. Yeah, this ain't gonna work out well. They're wanting to take advantage of his celebrity because he is in the news a lot, but it is crossed with a tower. So we got the 6 of Wands crossed with a tower. Trying to be an attention whore, trying to maybe try to use his clout, but it's not going to play out very. I keep hearing boo. Yeah. He's got nothing to give other than money. There's not going to be a good play between him and it's going to read like they're not going to be able to improv, or his skits are going to come across pretty dry. He's just going to talk about how rich he is. I think that's going to be the joke, is how much money he has. And he's going to be the butt of every joke, and it's just not going to be cute.
Because he does like Jay Leno and Stan Lee and Stephen King. They do cameos, but it's always as themselves. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if he'll just be Elon the entire time, and then they'll just do skits around him, basically. Yep. I get it's for attention, just like you said, the Griffin and the Dragon. The Griffin is a lesser dragon. So this is like the big name or the big celebrity, so forth and so forth coming in, which is, the business model. Mm-hmm. There is something documented. I think Connie said it. Maybe he's a sponsor for the show. There is some sort of money deal happening here too. I get co-create and exchanging gifts. There is some sort of money deal. And I was thinking to myself,
could also be why I got the 6 of Pentacles.
Why is he giving them money?
Yeah, he paid for this.
They should be paying him to come to the show, shouldn't they?
He paid for it.
There's some sort of exchange of money.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if he thinks maybe this is a good PR move or something.
It's going to backfire, though. Baby!
But, okay. You do you, boo. I don't watch SNL anyway, so I mean.
Even when people I like are on SNL, I haven't watched SNL since middle school.
I've seen one skit in the entire history of SNL. And it was hilarious, mind you. But okay.
SNL jumped shark many, many decades ago. I want to go back to a previous question because I'm a mess. I told y'all I'm not petty. I'm a little bit petty and a whole bunch messy. I want to go back and see if that employee actually did show up to work. Just real quick. The employee show up. 2 of Pentacles, having to juggle 7 of Cups, 4 Cups, 8 of Cups. If they showed up, they had a lot to do. They didn't do nothing. They did not. Did the employee actually show up to work? Not. Cool. Page one. For those of you who are coming in who missed the story, I was at TJ Maxx earlier today. As I'm walking out, I hear the manager on the phone, and he says very clearly, I understand that you're concerned about your mother, but I'm concerned about the business. Are you coming into work today? To which I looked him dead in his eyeballs, laughed in his face. Everybody knows in retail, when you put something on your mama, your grandmama, or your dog, that means you're not coming into work today, sweetie.
I get commitment broken. Okay. First of all, that's the first thing. And somebody may have actually been ill.
You know what? Here's why I laughed in his face. There was something energetic. Not only that I was like, I'm laughing in his face because it just took me back to my retail days. I also, because I was like, that's a hard no. When somebody says they bring in their mama in it, like, no. I was like, you're being a butthole. What if that person's mother actually is sick? Because your response is, I care about the business. Junebug. The business does not care about you. You're replaceable. Just like that employee you're trying to intimidate.
Here's my thing, right? As a person who has managed staffs and things of people in the retail industry, here's what they always do. Somebody die every week because you just got paid. And so you don't want to come to work when you got money in your pocket. Mm-hmm. And so your little cousin's sick, your auntie's coming in town, whatever the case may be, you always got something, right?
Yep.
But this lady I worked with, she is a paralegal during the daytime, but she has a very, very hectic energy. She has to be moving at all times and so forth and so forth. So she got her second job, which was working with us, but she worked 3 hours. 3 hours, right? Which is fine because, again, you got a day job and she just wants something else to do at night. It ain't like she needed the money. She just wants something to do. Yeah. And one day she called us and said, oh, her dad was sick and she didn't want to come in. You work 3 hours, chick, but okay. Your dad is sick, so I'll cover your shift. I'll stay late and so forth and so forth. And you know, we always bandied back and forth whether or not her dad was actually really sick. And I'm thinking, I don't think so. And so one day her dad up and died because she said that she needed some time. Her dad died and so forth and so forth. And so we was like, okay, fine. You work 3 hours, but fine. That's okay. I'll stay late. Just so happens the nosy in us. Because, you know, when you get a bunch of people just then all of a sudden we become Dick Tracy and now we need to go be Perry Mason and then start investigating stuff. So we went to her Facebook, which she was friends with us on Facebook. So it ain't like we
well, number one, do not become social media friends with your coworkers until after you quit that mess. Especially
if you like this chick here. Mm-hmm. We went on the Facebook-ish, and she said, here's another thing too. If you're gonna do this, private all your stuff. We didn't look on her Facebook for the answer. We got into another one of her friends that she was talking to because Facebook tell us who you talking to. Mm-hmm. So we go on to this lady's page, and she's talking about this lady's dad birthday party. And so then we go to her page, and she has one little post because she don't post on Facebook that much. But in the comments of that post was, I just talked to your dad, such and such and such and such, 3 hours ago. Mind you, you told us he died 3 days ago. And so 3 hours ago, somebody just talked to your dad. Now, mind you, there was a post way down in her page about the dad being at the hospital for tests because they was talking back and forth. What happened with your dad's test and something. She said, oh, he's fine. This and this. It was elevated heart rate or something like that. So, but no, he had a birthday party 3 days after she said he died. Because you didn't want to come to work for 3 hours. So that's why you get on the phone and you say, I know you're concerned about you, but are you coming in, yes or no? or another one. Lord Jesus, this one was funny. We couldn't even get mad. It was funny. There was one of these beach fair concerts or something like that in Florida. He said his grandfather died in Georgia, so he's going to have to go up to the funeral and all this. He posted on his Facebook at the time. He supposed to be at this funeral. He's at the beach Jeep Fest something with his telephone, and that one was funny because I'm thinking, oh, he having a good old time at his grandfather's funeral.
That's why I tell people, make the lie believable.
Yeah, dog.
And go mute for 2 to 3 days. And the mute that you need to go on has to match the severity of the lie. Your mammy died, you're mute for like 2 days, 2 weeks. Okay. You know, if it's, oh, my dog's butt itches and I have to take him to the vet, you know, maybe you go mute from 10 to 5:52, the amount of time it would take to get little Fido to the vet, get him some medication, and take him back home. It has to match the severity of the lie.
And here's another thing. Don't put that stuff out there. Because the universe is listening. Oh, I'm sick. Oh, you want to be sick? Here you go.
I never did that. I was like, because I guess why I laughed so hard in that man's face is because I thought about myself. I would just be like, I'm not coming in. Why? I don't want to.
I feel like it.
Can you? Nope. Can somebody? Nope. I'm not coming in. Click.
I need a mental health day. I was doing them before it was fashionable.
Because what I'm not offended to do is kill off my mammy, my pappy, my grandmama, my dog that I don't have, a goldfish, bring on bronchitis, emphysema, black eye, or hepatitis, herpes, because I want to not go to work that day. I'm just not coming in. I'm not coming in. I'm not coming in.
I need a mental health day.
I'm not coming in.
Y'all getting on my nerves.
My mom used to call it calling in well. You're not coming in? Nope. You sick? I'll feel perfectly fine. I'm just letting you know I'm not coming in. I feel great. So I'm going to use this good ass energy to do what I want to do and not what the company wants me to do.
Mm-hmm. Especially when I worked retail, because I always, no matter what position I held, had a crappy schedule. 11 to 7, 12 to 8, 10 to 6. The time where you're supposed to be doing other things, you got to be there.
Time you're supposed to be doing good stuff with your friends.
And then when you get off work, everything's cold and it's dark. Like, I can't. I can't work today. I'm 5 years old.
That's another good one.
Uh-huh.
Next time you call out of work, just say, can you come in? Ain't. Why? What is ain't? Ain't. Can you? Ain't. Ain't. Ain't's in the dictionary. Tell me to go look it up. Ain't. You don't have to put on your mammy. And that man, I need to look at what's wrong with me and my spirit. I looked that man dead in his face and laughed out loud. That was not about
because he was cold-blooded. That's what made it funny.
That was none of my business. You could hear me. I'm walking. He's at the front of the store because as I'm walking out, he's on the phone. I look at him, and you could hear me cackle from all the way out to my car because I'm like, that person ain't coming to work. That's a hard no. You got played, bro. He's not coming to work. That's none of my business. See, forgive me,
It's
Father.
still funny. I always tried not to, but I heard, and mind you, it wasn't funny, but it was funny the way she said it. I was a lady in the supermarket. She was in the other line, and she gave her child the "because I said so" line. Mm-hmm. And I almost just cracked up, but I'm thinking, okay, my mouth stretches this far. That mask gonna go right in my mouth. So I had to do the. I'm like, okay. No.
I don't know. And y'all tell me, and Johnny, tell me, is that just something that happens when you get older? Like the petty is just because, again, I did not give a damn. I laugh and I'm thinking like 5 more incidences where I've done something very similar recently, and I'm like, that was my business. No, I would laugh. That's just my personality. I would laugh.
I would laugh.
Thank you, Marie, for the super chats.
Because I've been on that phone call before. Like, so you're not coming in, is what you say.
I will say the pettiest thing I ever did when I worked, I was in food service, and I had the bright idea when I was bartending. I was the only bartender. I was the weekend bartender. That was it. I had a bar back sometimes, and that was it. So it was just me. And I decided to call out like not even 2 hours before the shift started, knowing good and god dang well I wasn't going. But I had my mom call out for me. Because I didn't feel like trying to explain why I was. Now, granted, I had an excuse. I had like 8 fillings done. Okay, literally, I'm not exaggerating. It was like 8 fillings across my whole mouth. And so that was a little traumatic. I didn't feel like talking a lot that day, but I should have just been proactive and just scheduled that night off weeks and months ago when I made the appointment. But no, I had my mommy call out for me. And I was an adult. I mean, I was 19, but still, I was old enough to know better. So, oh God. Okay. Anyway, let's we didn't do housekeeping at the beginning, so let's do housekeeping at the end. Whose channel are you guys on tomorrow night, Johnie?
Mine. There is also a community post. There's a few, so you'll have to go to the community page to find the exact one. There's one on Becca's channel, one on Jen's channel, one on my channel. I believe as many questions as you want, because I'll also be live Wednesday with Lena Rodriguez from Tarot Down Under. And so we'll need some more questions for then too. Tomorrow, I'll be live at 4. We'll do love reads with Miss and Joy's tarot. And then that night, we'll do our regular Sunday tarot. And Monday is what?
Back up. Tomorrow at 4 is going to be on your channel or Miss and Joy's channel?
My channel.
So tomorrow at 4 on your channel, and then again at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central for Sunday night reads. Go put as many questions as you want in his community channel or his community tab, because Wednesday night live with Dr. Lena Rodriguez on Johnny's channel at what time is Wednesday? 8 p.m. 8 p.m. So tomorrow at 4, tomorrow at 8, Wednesday at 8.
Yes.
Okay. All on Johnny's channel. Tomorrow, Jesus help me, Mother Mary Joseph. Monday, Susan Lynn and I are doing another ghost story. So Ghost Stories Part 3 with my co-ghost buster, Susan Lynn. We are going to have 2 guests. We're going to have Jen Lynn Tarrant and Shay from Blissful Divination joining us, talking about ghost stories. Also talking about different protection things. Susan and I will cover the protection stuff. I know Jen's got a lot of ghost stories, so does Shay. So just join us. It'll be 7 p.m. Eastern time, Monday night on my channel.
And also, Jen has also done a lot of, well, maybe not a lot, but some stories that I've told, that she's told of getting rid of spirits in homes. So she can probably add to that too.
Yes. So that is Monday night, 7 p.m. on my channel. Ghost Stories Part
3.
Thank you. I was like, what is dry is German for 3. So with that, thank you guys so much for joining in, all 304 of you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you to the mods. You guys are the life and breath of this channel. So thank you to the moderators. Thank you to all the super chatters. And most importantly, God dang it, it works.
Go the other way.
There we go. Still feels weird. Yes, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Look, girl. That's not working, Johnie. That way?
The other way.
Wait. There's the other way.
You went upside down. Go in the opposite direction.
I did. That way? Okay. Thank you
The opposite.
to the most best ever Tarot's Apprentice. Y'all know which direction I'm trying to point in. Thank you, Johnie, for joining me tonight. I really appreciate you guys. Until the next time, take care. Bye, guys.